Mi gente, welcome, bienvenidos a another episode, otro episodio, Hoy en Día TV. Super excited because every week that we come on here, we just have amazing stories because that is what Hoy en Día is about, to positively motivate, enlighten, entertain, educate, and just positively influence your life because life is hard. Life is not easy. Things happen, right? But we want to be that beacon of light to help you along the way. So another great episode, sharing information, sharing that positivity, sharing stories, real life stories of people, whether it be a business, whether it be a person, whether it be just anything, is here on Hoy en Día TV. I'm going to bring my co-host Manny Morales on the stage. Welcome, Manny.
Hola, bendiciones, bendiciones. ¿Cómo está mi gente?
Bendiciones. ¿Cómo tú estás? How you been?
Cansado, haciendo el examen el trabajo, trying to be a brand ambassador. It's a lot, man.
But you know what? That's good because good things don't come easy, Manny. And you and I are two examples of that. Luchando, luchadores, where you keep going and going and going. People think it's easy. This is not easy.
No, it's not. I'm waiting for the day. I'm being patient for the day when I tell my boss, "Hey, I'm putting in my 2 weeks." And when he asks me, I'm gonna be like, "It's personal. I'm firing y'all.
None of your business. Get out of my business."
Yeah. I can't wait.
So a lot of people, I don't think they know, you mentioned an exam a few moments ago. Enlighten the people that are just tuning in. What exam exactly are you talking about? What is it for? And if they want to work with you, how can they?
Right. So I started a course to teach people financial literacy.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Wealth Wave and How Money Works. So we teach people how money works, the things that people don't understand, and we try to help them make their money work for them instead of just dumping it into, some type of 401k or retirement plan. We actually try to get you the best interest rates, the a good life insurance plans. We have plans for children so that way they can be secure when they retire and don't have to be in your pockets. And it's just the information is free. We teach people, and a lot of other companies, they just want you to purchase something. We want you to feel comfortable in your purchase, and we want you to understand what you're going to purchase.
Right.
And whenever you're ready, we'll get the ball rolling. But if you want to reach out to me and learn more about it, I'm actually having an open house not this Sunday the 30th at 4:30 for the Zoom people. If you're not in Jacksonville, just reach out to me and I'll get your email and put you on the RSVP list. So Author Manny Morales on social media. Um, just get with me. And it's all free information, even if you don't, sign up with us to do anything, at least you have a little bit more knowledge of how money works. So,
Right. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you shared that because I know a lot of our viewers may not know what you're into.
yes, it's like the gatekeepers don't want you to know things, but we're busting this open. We're trying to get people the knowledge that they need, even if they don't work with us. At least they have, some type of understanding on some things, so that way
Absolutely.
they can expand and maybe, try to find something that's suitable for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's great that you're doing that because a lot more people need support,
Yes.
help, assistance, etc. in financial literacy. So the fact
Right.
that you're doing that's amazing.
Yeah, my mentor kept pushing me. Like every time I seen her, she was like, "So, you should become an agent." And da, 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 da. I was like, "Look, lady." She had a plan. Like, there's a lot of Latino people here in Florida,
Mhm.
specifically Jacksonville, that need help, and there's nobody here because the language barrier. Um, I've been
Mhm.
to a lot of team meetings, and I'm the only Latino there, so
Ah,
I'm going to, they have the classes in Spanish. So once I finish the course, I'm going to start teaching the Spanish classes to, the Latinos. So that way they could, try to build some generational wealth and be secure for the future. Because like I tell people, Social Security is diminishing. We
right.
we're not going to have it. I'm not going to see Social Security when I retire. And there's a lot of people that aren't, and they don't know what to do, or they're scared to talk to people, or they're scared because they've heard about people scamming you. So we just want them to be comfortable and understand what they're doing. We don't just want to issue you a policy. We want to make sure you understand what the policy does, what it's doing, what it's going to do for you, and how it's going to work for you in the future.
Absolutely. That's great. So are you only working with people in Jacksonville, or let's say if someone
Yeah,
wants to work with you
yeah,
virtually, can they do that
yeah.
as well?
I could definitely anywhere in the world, you
Okay.
know, with the social media and the virtual Zoom calls and stuff. We could always do something out of state, so it doesn't have to be in Jacksonville. If you're a Latino and you need help, um, just holler at me, and we'll try to get you set up with something so you can understand. Try to build something, you know.
Ok, that's amazing. Mi gente latina, si necesitas ayuda con su situación económica, ya sabes que aquí está Manny Morales que te puede ayudar con esa situación. So hit him up, reach out to him.
Yes, yes,
Now, in talking about information, Manny, I mean, I heard this recently, and I know you have too, about the House passing the defense bill
right,
to automatically register men ages 18 to 26. And this is according to foxnews.com.
right,
And I also went under sss.gov. So I'm purposely sharing these websites so that people understand the validity of these sources.
right.
And so pretty much what I'm reading here, it's really interesting because it says the selective service is already mandatory for the males ages for U.S. citizens. And so the House of Representatives passed a measure on Friday, so last Friday, automatically registering men aged 18 to 26 for selective services. This was part of an annual National Defense Authorization Act, so NDAA, which sets out the U.S. government's military and national security priorities over the next fiscal year. Now, with that, the SSS.gov site is stating when you register with the selective service, you're helping ensure a secure future for the U.S. of America. While there is no current draft, they're saying, registration with the selective service system is the most publicly visible program during peacetime that ensures operational readiness in a fair and equitable manner. Now, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. You're a male, and luckily you don't fall under that bracket. But for those who do fall under that age bracket, I mean, a lot of young men are doing a lot of great things with themselves nowadays. A lot of people aren't thinking about military.
Right.
That's scary. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, I feel like it's the genesis of a draft. They're going to try to start drafting people. What they're doing is creating chaos in you know the United States. People are going to protest, and you're going to get violence. You're going to get people that aren't going to want to go, and they're going to
Right.
be violent because of that. You're going to get people, men that leave the country because they don't want to be a part of that. The military, I just don't get me wrong. I work on
Mhm.
military boats. Okay,
Okay.
so
Mhm.
I work with the military in some shape or form, but
Mhm.
I don't really condone the military. I wanted to join back in the day only because of the benefits. And that's what most of these military people are doing. They're joining because of the benefits. Like, if you see some of the sailors that are on the boats they're like small, and they're kids. Yeah, like they're kids. Like, who are you gonna fight?
Right.
Who are you
Right.
fighting? but their advantages are intellect. So you know, they have some type of advantage, but like a lot of them are really small and they're just shy. Um, but like it's just creating chaos. And then could this be, even though it's on, the government site, could this be just fake news to, start people up, and try to get chaos going in the world? You know, you don't know, but I don't condone that. Like we have free will. You know what I'm saying? We have the right to be us, and they're trying to take that away. So they're going against the Declaration of Independence, and that's not right. Like I understand, we evolve, but we're human as well, and we have our own will. We have our own minds. We don't necessarily have to follow um, the masses, and that's pretty
Right.
much what they're trying to do. They're trying to create a world united. That's not going to happen. Mad Max is going to happen before that does. So I'm trying to. Yeah,
It's scary out here.
yeah,
It's really scary because even reading further under the foxnews.com, it says, well, it hasn't been invoked in over half a century. So what they're doing hasn't been invoked in over
right.
half a century. It's
Mhm.
mandatory for all male U.S. citizens to register for the selective service, also
Right.
known as the military draft, when they turn 18. And failure to register is classified as a felony and comes with a host of legal challenges.
Right. That's crazy. So
That's crazy. I mean,
they're forcing you to be their soldier, to be their puppet. You know,
right.
that's
I
that's
prayerfully they'll change that. I really hope
let's
that
hope.
somebody has that light
Yeah,
bulb to say, you know what, this isn't going to work.
at all. Like they're gonna get a lot of people protesting, and it's just gonna be chaos all over the world. You know, well, the United
Right,
States anyway. So
right.
I
It's
just,
it's scary out here.
it's definitely scary. It's gonna get a lot worse. Definitely get a lot worse.
And so shifting gears with knowledge, today's topic is about cancer. And so we
Cancer.
have a special guest. I know, right?
Yeah.
Special guest Daphne McMurtry, who survived breast cancer. And I know, Manny, you also have a story to share with the OND viewers about your experience with cancer. And so
Yes.
before we get into that, I'm going to share some stats pertaining to cancer,
Right.
in
I was
case you
looking
don't
at that. Like, there's 4 million, over 4 million breast cancer survivors to this day. That's
know. Wow,
awesome. All right.
that is amazing.
That is
And
definitely
so
amazing.
for those, I mean, I know people are familiar with what it is, but the proper terminology, according to cancer.gov, it says that cancer is a disease in which some of the body cells grow uncontrollably and spread
Right.
to other parts of the body. And
Hmm.
cancer starts almost anywhere, so it can be anywhere in your body, which is made up of trillions of cells.
Right.
Normally, human cells grow and multiply through a process called cell division to
Hmm.
form new cells as the body needs them, right? So when these cells grow old and become damaged, they die, and the new cells take on their
Right.
place. That's how the normal human body works. But with the cancer, sometimes with this orderly process, it breaks down and abnormal or damaged cells
Right.
grow and multiply where they shouldn't. And so that's
Mhm.
what's classified as cancer.
Right.
These cells may form as tumors, which are lumps of the tissue. And tumors can be cancerous and sometimes non cancerous, which is benign tumors. And so I also have experience with cancer because unfortunately I have a relative that passed away from throat
Oh
cancer.
wow. Sorry to hear that.
Mhm. Yeah. And so with that also, it's in 2024, an estimated 2,140,000. It's like, oh, well, I'll say this, over 2 million people
Right.
had new cases of cancer
Yeah.
and will be diagnosed this year alone, because we're still in 2024 in the US, and 611,000, so over 611,000 people will die from the disease this year.
Right. And
That's
that's not just women. Like there are cases of men having breast cancer.
right,
That's definitely crazy. That's really
right.
crazy.
That's scary.
Yeah.
And cancer.gov also says that the most cancers or common cancers that they see, and this is again as of this year, 2024, are breast cancer, prostate cancer, lung and bronchus cancer,
Right.
colon and rectum cancer, melanoma of the skin, which is typically happens if you don't use sunblock,
Right.
bladder cancer, kidney and renal pavus cancer. So those are some of the top ones that they've noticed within the
That's almost
2020.
the whole body.
Right,
It's
pretty
the whole
much, right?
body. You might as well say body cancer.
Right.
That's
And, and unfortunately, it also affects children. So in
yeah,
2024, an estimated 14,910 children and adolescents
right.
between the ages of 0 and 19 will be diagnosed with cancer.
Yep.
And 1,500 or over 1,500 will die from this disease.
Yeah, it's crazy because a lot of the children they receive the cancer from it starts in the womb, the stuff that the mother eats, and then she
Right.
feeds them the milk, and depending on the severity of the steroids that they pump into the food that that person ate, um, it mutates the cells in the child, and that's why they get cancer. And like they didn't ask for it. I mean, none of us asked for it, but they never had a chance to live, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, it's
It's crazy.
it's it's very crazy.
Hmm.
And so, with that, keeping that in mind and the cancer stats that I just shared, we're going to bring on a special guest. Her name is Daphne McMurtry. She's going to share her compelling story of how she survived breast cancer.
Awesome.
Because although we hear stats that people pass away from it, guess
Right.
what? You can survive and you can battle it. And Daphne did it. And Manny, you did it too. We're
Yeah.
going to hear your story too.
Right.
So, special guest, Daphne McMurtry, you are on. Welcome to Hoy en Día TV.
Hey,
Okay.
how are
Hi.
you, young lady?
I'm well. How is everybody?
We're doing good. Well, I'm doing good. I don't know about Yessie. She looks
Okay.
put together
I'm
over there
blessed.
right now.
I'm
Yeah,
amazing.
Excellent. Excellent. Good.
So,
Good.
Daphne, thank you so much for being on Oyandia and sharing
yes,
your
thank you very much.
story. Your story and Manny's story is really going to help people that are dealing with the disease now because cancer is no joke. I hear
Right.
stories, I hear what people go through, but you two are living and breathing examples that it can be overcome and you overcame and you're still living and breathing and you're here, right?
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
without further ado, tell us, who is Daphne? Where are you from? How was your upbringing? I want to know all the juice.
Oh wow. Okay. Look. So you want to
She
go
wants
all
the
the way
tea.
back?
Right.
All the way back.
That, we don't have that kind of time, Sin. I'm 53 years old. We don't have time to go all the way
But
back.
you don't look 53. You look great for
You
your age.
definitely don't look 53.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Well, I am. Well, yeah, my Daphne McMurtry, born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Shout out to
Married.
Milwaukee.
Yep. I'm married. I have two children. They're 22 and 14. My little one just turned 14 yesterday. So, man, we're ready. In 4 more years, he'll be out of school. We'll be cabbage patching and celebrating harder than him.
Right.
Raising the kid journey will be over. But yeah, I grew up on the east side of Milwaukee, River West, Wisconsin, born and raised, and
Oh,
went
you got
to
the
all
accent
my
too.
yeah,
Wisconsin.
yeah, exactly. All my education's done here in Wisconsin too. Went to UW Whitewater, UW Madison. Got my undergrad and started my grad. Didn't finish, but life started lifing.
Right.
Um,
What was your
so
major?
I went to UW Whitewater, majored in sociology and
Okay.
psychology with a minor in human resources.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
amazing.
All right.
yeah. And then I did a semester at UW Milwaukee for criminal justice. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because I actually worked with probation for 24 years.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So, but now I am a social worker at Children's
Mhm.
Hospital here in Wisconsin. So,
That's
career
awesome.
number two. Yeah.
That's
You're right, because you
Yeah.
had a different career before.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I was a probation officer for 24 years. 15 here in
Wow.
Wisconsin, and then 10 in North Carolina, because we lived in North Carolina for a little
Part of North
bit.
Carolina.
Yeah, just outside of Charlotte,
Oh,
Indian
my
Trail.
my brother lives in Madison, North
Okay.
Carolina. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
right outside of
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. But we ended up coming back here because my mom got sick.
Okay.
And with the traveling back and forth, it just got to be too much.
All right.
And we
Right.
made the decision, we came back, and I'm glad we did, because my two boys were her only grandkids. So
Oh,
Okay. So
she
yeah.
got 2 more years of them with them, getting to know them before she passed away. So
Oh, sorry to hear
yeah,
that.
yeah.
wow.
But it was good. It was good. They was able to build that connection.
All right.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
So tell us, you are a breast cancer survivor.
I
Did
am.
leading up to that, did you feel anything different before you received that diagnosis? Tell us about it, if you remember, because I know everybody's story is different. But if you remember, how was your body feeling? How were you feeling? Lead us up to that time when the doctor said, you are breast cancer positive.
Yeah, I was doing okay. I felt good, felt strong, running around, living life, working, paying bills, taking care of the kids and husband and all that stuff. Um, and when I went in, I just thought, just, regular, typical exam. Every year I had a breast exam. Um, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't feel anything unusual. But they saw it on the mammogram. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Saw it on the mammogram, and that was July the 12th, 5 years ago.
Wow.
Because next month it'll be exactly 5 years, and it was just devastating. It rocked my world. I was not anticipating that at all.
Definitely sat you
Not
down.
at all.
Didn't it?
Yeah, it was a shock. Yeah, to say the least. And I remember like it was clockwork, because I was on the phone talking to my cousin, who still in North Carolina, and we're just chatting it up and checking in and all that. And um boom. Yeah, went in there, had the mammogram. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll call you right back. This will just take a few minutes. And boy, when the tech came back like 3 times, and she kept saying, let me just take another look. Let me just take. So I knew something was wrong. You
Mm.
know, um, and I mean, and I know they're the tech, and they're not supposed to give you, any kind of medical um, diagnoses, because that's not their job. But I saw the concern on her face,
Wow.
and
Wow.
that's when I knew something is off.
Right.
And then she immediately called the doctor in. He came down. I said, he's coming down now. You know how hard it is to get a doctor to get on the line, and let alone come down.
Right.
And yeah, he scanned again. I ended up being there for like almost two and a half hours. And he said, I just got to be, straight up with you. This is, what I see. And he told me, and then he said, we're obviously going to send you for more testing to get a diagnostic, and we're going to have to send you over to oncology. And that's how I found out. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Total
Woo.
shock. Yeah.
Absolutely. How did your family feel?
I think for my boys, they just kind of tamped it down, and they didn't really get like super emotional about it, because I think they were taking their cues from me,
Mhm.
um, because I tried to remain calm, but behind the scenes, I was an emotional wreck. Yeah, yeah. And my husband is a nurse, so he obviously knows the things to say and all
Right.
of that. But he was very, very quiet. And if you know my husband, he that's not he's got plenty to say. So I knew, you know, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is life, and we gonna
Right.
have to get down and dirty and deal with it. And yeah, we went to oncology like maybe 2 weeks later, and it was confirmed and everything. And man, and the journey started. You know, um, it was just unbelievable. But they hung in there. My husband, my boys, they hung in there, and they were right there, supporting, helping, anything I needed, um, get me through because I had to go through chemo. Um, no radiation, but I ended up having to still have to have the surgery because my cancerous cells weren't like perfectly round. There was like round images, but there was also like cancer around the round cell.
Wow.
Okay.
So they knew it was going out, you
Right.
know,
It was spreading.
yeah, expanding out. So they're like, okay, the chemo did its job. It shrunk the three major cells that they were looking at, but because they were out, there was so much cancer outside of the actual circle, so to speak. They just felt it would be best to do the removal.
All
So
right.
that's what I
Boy,
did.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that is
Yeah.
exactly what I did.
So,
Wow.
so for the viewers that may not understand the difference, based on the doctors and what they told you, what the difference is between a chemo and radiation, right? Is that what you mentioned? What's the difference
Yeah,
with those?
yeah. Well, the chemo, how it was like described to me in layman's term, it's
Hmm.
like the poison that's killing the poison. They're putting
Okay.
poison in your body through IV to
Okay.
kill
Okay.
those poisonous, cancerous cells. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and then the radiation, I didn't have to do.
Mm.
Um, and I know there's various forms of that too, but I know my mother-in-law went through it, and she had to go through radiation because she had breast cancer too, and it ended up being a liquid as well that they pumped through her port through IV through her body. Yeah, but
Wow.
it's just that the procedure doesn't last as long. Radiation's like maybe 15 minutes, and chemo for me was like 4 hours. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I would go to radiation, spend half my day there. If I felt good enough, I would go back to work, or I'd work through my chemo. But that was the one thing too that kept me going. I went to work through the whole thing because it gave me something else to focus on. Yeah.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, it gave me something else to focus on instead of the woe is me. But I'm not gonna lie, I got in my head, and so much so I had to end up going to therapy
Okay.
to just to deal with some things,
Right.
to get it out, um, and not hold it in, um, the whole losing your hair struggle, as women and going through that. I never forget it. It was coming out so quick. I was like, oh my God. One weekend my husband and my boys went to New York, and they were just going on vacation. And when they were gone, I just said, I'm just shaving it all off. So I just took a razor, my husband's razor, and chopped it. Because why torture myself with all this hair coming out in clumps? Just take
Right.
it off.
Wow.
So yeah, it ran the gamut of emotions, mad, sad, crying, snotting on the floor, and all of that. Not to mention the sickness, from the chemo, because I would get very, very sick, and vomiting and diarrhea, and just extremely weak. Losing a lot of weight, and couldn't keep nothing down. But yeah, it was a roller coaster. It was
Mm.
a roller coaster. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Mhm.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Was there anything that you kept telling yourself to keep pushing and keep going? And what motivated you to keep pushing and keep going?
Well, at the time, my big boy, he was still in high school. My little boy was in elementary because they're like 6 years apart. I'm like, man, I got stuff to do.
Right.
Right.
They need their mom. I'm like, I can't just fold it in and give up. I gotta keep pushing. This stuff still I want to see and do and have and take on and experience. I just said, no, I gotta fight. I'm not gonna lie, I got down a lot. But the therapy helped, to keep me pulled up and keep me going. Um, but it was hard. But I would have to say, just pushing for my family, getting that support from them and, making me still get up and go to work and just get through. And the day I had to go to treatment, somebody was coming with me, whether it be a friend or family, extended family, you know, um, just giving that encouragement. So I think that helped a lot.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. You have support. A lot of people don't have support. They have to go by themselves. You know,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
a lot more. It's a lot more difficult when you don't have support like that.
Right.
Shout out to your family for real,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
for some people that's a deal breaker.
Yes.
Especially for married, couples. I mean, you can't like divorce your children, so
Yeah.
that's not gonna happen. But um,
Right.
just your husband standing by you, that's a true man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Having to
Yeah.
deal with the sicknesses and um,
Yes.
see you with no hair and still find you, as gorgeous as you look today. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and stick by you. That's
Yes.
definitely a
Yeah.
true
Yeah, yeah,
right,
he was right. He was right there, and he would
right,
tell me all the time, because in our embarrassment, I would walk around, I would still have my hair, some type of hair covering on, and he was like, just take it off, just
right,
no hair coverings, no wigs, no nothing, just be
right,
you. But that was hard, but I just wanted to see it natural. But
right,
he would say it all the time. It was hard for me, but he just rolled with it. He dealt with it. Yeah. So I had to give him big ups. He held it down.
right.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
part of that is because he was in the medical. Well, I don't know if he's still a nurse,
Mhm.
but being in the
Yep.
medical field, you see a lot of things, and you have to just roll with, seeing different crazy things. And I'm not saying
Yes.
that you're crazy without no hair, but drastic changes. He
Yes.
would have to deal with on a daily basis, and just act professional.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
just the love
Yeah.
that he had for you, I believe that's what, he just wanted you to feel comfortable in your own house
Yeah.
instead of,
Yeah.
having to wear a hat or something all the time.
Correct.
Awesome.
Correct. And then everything else. I mean, just everything, like the cooking, the cleaning, because it would just be all I could do to get through the day. And then at
Right,
the end of the day, I'm literally crawling up the stairs just to lay down in the bed and get it together. I mean, it may sound crazy to some people, but doing the laundry, doing the dishes,
hmm
keeping the house clean, that meant a lot to me because he was working all day.
right,
So I mean, he still had to come home to do this and make sure these youngins was doing what they supposed to do, going to school, doing homework, taking baths. He just took it over. So I
that's awesome.
appreciate it. Hmm.
That's definitely awesome. That builds a
Yeah,
stronger bond between husband and wife. That's pretty
yeah,
awesome.
yeah, totally. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. Amazing. That is
yes.
amazing. And so, how long did you deal with the going to chemo sessions until you
Mhm.
found that you're cancer free? Praise God, you're good to go.
Yes, yeah. Let's see. I've been chemo for just about 4 months. And then I had like a 1 month like break. And then I had to have a surgery. So then that was December of 2019. is when I had the surgery to do the full removal just of the right side because there was nothing found on my left breast. And like I was sharing with you guys earlier, that procedure is called a deep flap. So it's like the one good thing about cancer, I got a little tummy tuck. Because what they do is they remove all the fat from your stomach, and that little pooch that women get after they have kids. They just take all that out, smooth it up, but they take that fat and they make a breast. So I always say my fake breast is on the right and the real one is on the left, and it's still on me.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
because the alternative would have been to do like the silicone and the gels and all that. I didn't want you know more foreign things in my body,
right.
Right.
and potential for leaking and all of that. So that's why I opted to have that procedure done. Um, and yeah, so like I said, all in all, it took at least half a year to get from the start of chemo to that surgery, and then I was home recovering, and COVID hit, and I think I was at work for maybe 2 weeks, and then I was right back home because y'all know everything shut down.
Right, right,
Yeah, everything shut down. But that ended up being a good thing for me because my oncologist was saying, in terms of being exposed to so many people, at work, I could have gotten COVID and got real sick because my immune system was compromised.
right.
Um, so I was back at home, fully recovering, and that was actually beneficial. So if there was any good thing that came out of COVID, it was that, being at
Right.
home and working from home. Yeah, yeah. But like I said, July the 12th, next month, it'll be officially 5 years, and that'll be my official remission date. Official. Yeah.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Yes.
That is
Yes.
awesome. That is
Thank
awesome.
you.
That's beautiful.
Excited.
Being, I'm curious to hear your story with cancer because
Yes.
Daphne's story, but tell us about your story and just everything, the ins and outs, and go
um,
ahead and hear hoy en
I was
día.
probably 24-ish, going on
Mm.
25, having really bad stomach cramps. Like really bad stomach cramps. Like not just, oh, I ate something bad. No, this was crawled on my mom's couch in the fetal position crying because it hurt so bad. And then I would go to the bathroom and blood in my stool. Sometimes it was just blood.
Mhm.
So being a 24-year-old man, I'm not, the pride comes in the way. So it's like, do I go to the doctor and tell him that I'm bleeding, out of my butt? I'm like, people are gonna
Mm.
get weird. So I dealt with it for probably 2 more months before I said,
Mm.
you know what, I have to go to the doctor. Something's wrong. But I dealt with it. Like some days I wouldn't eat anything just so
Mhm.
my stomach wouldn't hurt.
Mhm.
So then I went to the doctor and I told him the symptoms and he gave me a prostate exam to see if
Yeah.
it was inflamed. And that's not fun. I'm not going to get graphic, but it wasn't fun
Right.
at all. Um, but he said it wasn't because it wasn't inflamed. And he took a sample of my stool and um, set me out for a colonoscopy. Then they
Mhm.
found polyps in my intestines, and they took one out, and it was cancerous. So,
Mhm.
26 years old,
Yeah.
Wow.
right? I
Crazy.
didn't know. Like, I was like, what is going on? I
Yeah.
didn't know. I was
Yeah.
at a loss for words. Like, I asked my mom, I asked my father. I didn't know why,
Right.
and um, luckily they found it early enough to where they were able to cut 6 inches of my intestine and
Mm.
eliminate it from my body. So it didn't pass my colon, I believe the lower half. So I did research, and the to be able to flush out your colon, you have to introduce enough fiber ish
Right.
material to be able to kind of flush it out. So
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing that. My diet consisted because I was working at Golden Corral when they had just started the all you can eat steak,
Mm. Mm.
and I was working there. So just imagine, you know. So
Mm.
my diet had no fiber whatsoever.
Mm.
So all that red meat just sat in my stomach, and like we talked about earlier, the steroids that they pump into the meat to try to
Yes.
make it bigger because you know the Americans want quantity, not quality. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just sat in my stomach and it mutated my stomach cells and turned them cancerous.
Mm.
So just like I had to go to therapy because I was like, why? Like I got
Right.
sad, mad, hurt.
Yeah.
No, I was
Yeah.
lost. Like I didn't know what to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
To do the surgery, they had to open my stomach,
Mm-hmm.
pull my intestines out, lay them on the table, and then find where they took the polyp out, and then they cut a 6-inch section right there. So I
Oh,
hope
wow.
nobody's eating right now.
No.
Um,
They're
so
watching all India.
right. Um, but
I'm so glad you went, though. I'm
yeah,
so glad
yeah.
you,
So
you
am I.
went.
Like I, just like you, we're here for a reason. Like I, when I was 7 years old, I got in a fight with a kid, and he hit me just in the right place and ruptured my kidney. So
Mm.
since I was 7 years old, I only had one kidney,
Wow.
and I've never been sick. I've never been in the hospital. Like the one
Mm-hmm.
kidney has been a champ for 44 years of my life. And
Mm-hmm.
then I got cancer. So it's like, you know, I'm supposed to be here for a reason.
Yeah,
Just like you're supposed to be here for a reason. So
that's it.
I
Mm-hmm.
I um I don't take every day for granted like I
Right.
used to. That's why I work so much. A lot of people like, yo, take a break. You need to. No,
Yeah.
I've been taking a break my whole 20s. Like all I did was hang out and do nothing.
Right.
It's time to work. It's time to grow my empire. So yeah. Um, but I've
Get
met
on your grind.
yes, I
Mm-hmm.
know a gentleman that just passed away, not just passed away, but he passed away. I think it's been a year. I
Mm.
had just met him. He was part of my publishing company. His name was Nard something. I can't remember his last name, but
Mm.
he wrote a couple books. He was working on a series for one of his books, and he didn't tell anybody that he was sick. He had cancer,
Oh.
and
Oh.
he got to the point where they hospitalized him. He had 6 months,
Yeah.
and now he's gone. You know, like
Wow.
can't take that for granted. And I almost did. Like I said, I was dealing with the pain. Like I got to a
Yes.
point where I knew what I couldn't eat, and
Yes.
that's what I would do. I was eating a lot of cereal because it didn't mess with my stomach. So,
Yes.
um, but something in me said you need to go take care of this. You need to let
Yeah.
that pride go and take care of it. So, you know,
Oh,
I'm definitely
thank
glad.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you did. And look, I'm wondering, I'm curious now, like, what is your diet? Like, what is your consistent things that you go to?
Well, I don't eat a lot of red meat anymore. I still
Mm.
eat red meat, but I don't eat it like I used to. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I work out more because I wasn't working out then. I work out on a daily basis. I'll eat like a regular breakfast because I
Mm-hmm.
wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm at work at 6,
Right.
so I usually eat like two boiled eggs and one
Mm.
waffle, and
Okay.
yeah, just one waffle because that's too
Yeah.
many calories. I'm a
Yeah, I
calorie
understand.
guy.
Yep.
And then for lunch, I try not to eat anything heavy, so I'll take fruit
Good.
I'll buy fresh pineapples and cut them,
Yes.
and fresh
Yeah.
cantaloupes, and then I'll eat. I go between cottage cheese and yogurt.
Mhm.
So one
Good.
week I'll do yogurt, one week I'll do cottage cheese with the fruit. I'll throw granola into the yogurt, just to give it a
Yeah.
little
Yep.
to burn,
Flavor.
right.
Hmm.
And then I'll drink water. I used to drink a lot of soda and
Yeah. Hmm.
energy drinks, but I stopped doing that. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because that sugar feeds cancer.
right,
So
right.
yeah. Yeah.
The NOS that I was drinking is 200 calories, and
Mm.
three-quarters of that is sugar. And
Yep.
I was
Wow.
drinking one every morning. Like I wouldn't drink it throughout the day. I just drink it in the morning.
Hmm.
But yeah, I had to stop.
Yeah.
I had to stop. But I feel a whole lot better since I stopped.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you
Excellent.
for sharing that. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that story. And both of your stories are going to positively motivate and impact somebody
Yes,
here
I
inside.
hope so. Cause
Yes,
Yes.
they will. Because a lot of people just don't know how to deal with things like that. And it's completely understandable. Something new, you have a health diagnosis, you're like, OMG, what am
right,
I going to do? And then you're
Yep.
thinking, am I going to die? Like, what do I do?
right.
Yes.
So both of
Mhm.
you all shared that you went to therapy. So it sounds like therapy is a helpful vessel or a way to help you get that out.
It is. It is. And they offered at least I know at Aurora St. Luke's where I went, there was so many different things. I mean, there was massage, there was Reiki, there was, therapy, there was acupuncture, just, so many different things, that they offered, hot yoga, and, you know, to any different way to help you, cope,
Right.
and deal. Yeah. So I appreciate it.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mhm.
it helped talking to somebody other than your family, because like with me,
Yeah.
my family, we didn't really talk about a lot. Like we were close, but we weren't. You know what I'm saying? We didn't
Right.
really talk about a lot of personal things.
Mhm.
Right.
So my mom knew, but like she handled it. She never really talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and like I couldn't really talk to my brothers and my father either. So it was like it was just good to have somebody to talk to about it.
Yes. Yeah. And
So
that non-judgment zone too.
exactly,
And if you just want to vent off,
right.
that person is just there to
Hmm.
to listen. So yeah, I know. I get it. It that was a rough patch. And you don't want to feel like you're complaining,
Right.
about your situation. So I think that's for me, that's where therapy helped, a
Hmm.
lot. Just get it off your chest, you
Right.
know. Yeah. And one time I went, I just sat there and just cried, and she just held my hand. Yeah,
Right.
and that was our session, and anything, to get through it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
Sometimes you just feel like I know I felt like the world was over. Like it was
yeah.
over with. Like that was it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when you hear cancer, it's like, oh, you're gonna die.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that was the first thought that I ever had. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. Like I'm never
Yeah.
gonna see my kids have grandkids.
Right. Right.
But I
Right.
kept
Your
pushing.
yeah.
And
Your
go ahead.
mind plays that the trick on you, and if you don't catch it, you can get so low, you may not come back up,
Mhm.
and I knew, I'm like, I can't claim that, because that too in itself is not going to be helpful in recovery.
Right.
That there's negative vibes. You
Hmm.
know, so
Right.
what can I do to flip this thing and turn it around? So I get it, and then I, like you said, just started looking into, as far as the research,
Mhm.
what type of cancer I had, what kinds of foods should I be eating? What should my diet look like? I even change like pots and pans that I don't do nonstick. I do stainless steel or cast iron, you know. I did the genetic testing only because my mom, you know, had a form of cancer. So for my children, you know, so they'll know because I wanted to know, you know. So I tell you, it's a journey of trying to figure it out and obtain some knowledge and information. You know, how can it help you improve?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So for the viewer watching, if it's been a while since you've seen your doctor, please, we highly encourage you, go see your doctor, get tested. Regardless of the outcome, it's going to be okay because both Manny and Daphne shared they've overcome this. So it's a mind over matter thing. You know that you can do it, and you know what? You're going to do it. You know you're going to overcome it, mind over matter. Seek the therapy that they recommended because it helped both of them in their situations. That support from family. If you on the other side where you're that family, be that supportive figure. Listen to them. Say, hey, how can I help you? Is there anything I can do for you? Because it is a trying time for not only the person dealing with the cancer, but also for the family member. We get it. We get it. It's tough. But together, you can overcome this. You really can.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. I agree. And go to the doctor because I know a lot of Black folks and Latino folks, we don't like to go to the doctor. We gotta know, you know, something is wrong. Like you said, you knew if you're in that fetal position, cramped up, you can't eat. Something is going on. You know, and for me, it was right. I know, but it was standard mammogram. Ladies, go get it. You know, see your OBGYNs. Get those pelvic and pap smear exams. Get that stuff. You know, check on yourself inside and out.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Like you were healthy when they found your cancer. Like it doesn't give you a warning sometimes. You know, it depends. It's different for everybody. It's, you know, I got mines and it was painful and I was still trying to deal with it because in my mind, that's what I felt like society wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they tried to get you to, just be a man and deal with it, you know? But, behind closed doors, I was crying.
Yeah. I mean, that's like the very definition of madness. You know, I know I don't feel good because you were physically feeling it. But I'm going to sit up in here and man up and be just in excruciating pain.
No.
Yeah. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, so I got a consult next Wednesday for a colonoscopy. I did one last year, but he wanted me to do one every year. And that's how they get you. You got to do a consult, even though they're the ones that did the colonoscopy last time, and they're the ones that
I know.
Still got to do a consult. I'm like, okay.
I know, but go and do it. And follow through.
I go Wednesday
and
after my exam.
Check it off. Done. Moving on to next year.
Yeah,
that's right.
Definitely.
That's right.
But like, I tried to. I reached out to the Colon Cancer Association here, but they never reached back out to me. But like a lot of people, like you said, Black and brown people are really the majority that have either breast cancer or colon cancer. Like they're the ones that suffer the most because, like I said, the type of foods that we eat, the region that we live in, it just depends. You know. You know, just like third world countries where they're deformed. It's the region that they live in and the stuff that they're either eating or that's around them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And too, like my husband would share with me too, sometimes too, it is medical bias. You know, you've got to really stay on your doctor to get them to listen and just listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm telling you, you know. And as crazy as it sounds, they still have in medical school where they still have the belief that folks of darker hues can tolerate more pain. What kind of nonsense is that?
No.
You know, still
Right.
being taught right now in medical school.
All
It's,
right.
Wow.
so you got to be your advocate.
All right. I mean, we
Wow.
deal with it, but it's not comfortable. You know, like
Right.
we're humans like everybody else. We
Correct.
just don't mind as much as
Yeah.
the lighter complexion people.
Right.
No, yeah.
Unbelievable.
I'm glad you shared that, Daphne, because I agree. It's important, like you said, be on top of your doctor, but every now and then you have to step outside of your doctor and get that second or third opinion.
Right.
Yes.
You know? Because
That's
it's called
right.
a practice. They're practicing for a reason because they don't have all the answers. They just have the medical terminology based on what they learned on books. But guess what?
That's
They're
it.
practicing on you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Practice.
Right.
They're researching too, just like we research in Google. They
Exactly.
have to go back and research in Google because, like my husband said, there's no way they can retain all of that, So they got to
Right.
go back and look. And then if they're not listening to you, it's like, wait a minute, hold on. I'm trying
Right.
to share this with you, and I need for you to take this serious.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's something. It's real out here. But
Yeah.
I tell you, y'all, I don't know, didn't learn nothing else. Good health, being a good advocate for your health is so key, so
Mm-hmm.
so key, and
Right.
encouraging your loved ones around you too to take care of
Right.
themselves inside and out. You
Right.
know.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's great words. I appreciate that.
Exactly.
And we're actually going to turn into that segment of last words because we're about to close the show. I know we've had such a great time. It's already time to wrap it up. We
Okay.
also have juicy conversations on Hoy en Día TV, but we're going to go into our last minute. Pretty much what it is now is we're sharing anything you want to say, words of encouragement or how they can find you, etc. Um, so I'll have Manny lead so that way, Daphne, you can understand, what it is that, whatever it is that you want to say. So Manny, last minute words before we close shop.
As I always say, don't let fear of failure overcome the righteousness of success. Don't let take that first step. You won't regret it. Like that first step is definitely difficult, but take it because you're worth it. You can find me on social media, Manuel Morales, authormanuelmorales.com. If you want a book, just DM me. I'll sign it, send it to you. Um, if you need some financial literacy, DM me. I'm having the open house the 30th of June at 4:30 for those that want to be in Zoom. Um, we're going to teach people how to make money work for them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Definitely last minute words do you want to share with the viewers of Hoy en Día TV?
well, just what I just previously said. Just be an advocate. For yourself and your health, and not just for you, for your family as well. To try to encourage them to take care of themselves inside and out. I know, we like to focus on the outer. Um, with everybody on social media and taking selfies and pictures and all that stuff. But let's make sure we're good inside and outside, and take care of each other, Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
I love that. So that whether it be sending a text message, a quick phone call, hey, I'm thinking about you,
Mhm.
etc.
That's it. Yeah.
And if you know they
Awesome.
like flowers, send them some flowers. And for the guys, they might like a fruit tray or something. Send them a
There you
fruit
go.
platter.
There you go. That'll be arrangement. I love those.
Yeah.
So they can
Yeah.
eat.
It sounds great. It sounds
Yes.
wonderful. Yeah, we can't leave our men out too because they like stuff too. They like being appreciated too.
Right. Exactly.
Absolutely. Yes.
No
Yeah.
socks. No Socks and
Yeah,
ties.
No socks.
or ties.
There you go.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah, Daphne saw that episode. She was like, "No socks to ties."
But I will also say this too. I'm so glad you are sharing that financial piece
Right.
with folks. I think that is awesome.
Yeah, because
It does. It needs to be spread among us. We need to work on that. Generational wealth is where we're behind. Folks of
right,
color.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
got some serious ground to make up with that. So I encourage folks, get your financial house in order, get you a home, start
right.
investing, make that money work for you.
Exactly. Because a lot of people are going to more. I can't remember the statistic. I'm still learning. Anyway, a lot of people are going to die poor, and like when they get to retirement age, they don't have the resources to take care of themselves. That's why so many people are on Medicaid. Um, they're not getting the service that they need adequately because there's so many people. And like the people that have money don't tell you about it because they feel like it's just for them. This is their opportunities.
Right.
Um, but we all need something for retirement. We all need to build something for our children as well because a lot of people die and their kids can't afford to bury them or cremate them, and it's like they don't have life insurance at all, or, a pension or a 401k or, health insurance. So we want to teach people the stuff that nobody has taught them, I mean, you're putting money into, Social Security and you're not even going to see it, you know and I mean that you can't do anything about it because they're going to take it out of your check anyway, but put some money to the side, put it into an account that's going to yield a high interest. That way you could have something for the future. Like there's an insurance policy that has a living benefit, so if you get sick like cancer or if you get hurt on the job, it'll pay you 90% of that benefit while you're still alive. So that way you could, pay for your medical bills while you're sick or
Right.
injured, And a lot of people don't know that.
Wow.
Right.
Well, thank you for sharing that knowledge.
Yeah, you're hitting out all the right areas, and I'm so glad you're doing that because we've been trying to share that with our boys as well.
Right.
So all those same topics. Let's get it together. Let's we need to know where the bodies is buried. Let's get this will, powers of attorney. We need to have those things in order. And that was another thing that I did as a result of me getting cancer. I got that will and power of attorney done for those reasons because you don't know.
Right.
Absolutely. And you're never too young to get it. So
Exactly.
whether you're 18 or 5 or what have you, you just never know. Get it.
Yeah. There's a policy. It's called
What did
$1
you say? Will and trust, right?
Yeah. That's it. And for some that medical POA too. Yep.
Well, you all have dropped many jewels, many gems. So I thank you all, but thank you both, because again, for those dealing with any type of cancer, if you have a loved one that's dealing with cancer, you got a wealth of knowledge. We provided some tools and resources based on first-hand experiences. This is food for thought for you. You can do this. Always remember, there's a mind over matter. You can do this. You can overcome this, just like these two individuals. And they're just two out of the many that have survived and overcome cancer. So it's okay. If you haven't, brush it off. Yes, it's easier said than done. I get it. But again, you can do it. Power of manifestation. I'm going to overcome this. And I can do it. And so here at ONDI TV, we aim to positively motivate, enlighten, educate, and entertain you all with each episode, because that is our goal. We're here to help you positively think differently. And I really hope and trust with today's episode, just like with the past episodes, you have gotten that. I'm Yessie Rodriguez. You can go ahead and find me on Google, on your favorite internet browser. Just type in YESSE Rodriguez, and you can find a roster of what I do, where my social media handles are, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, or X, I guess I should say, because it's no longer Twitter, right? Instagram, etc. My website, yessierodriguez.com, and you know where to find me here on ONDI TV. Shout out to all the sponsors. We have Collective Wear, Amanda Morales, Talk Man Talk, Divine Beauty and Accessories. And if you want to be a sponsor, hit me up, hit us up, ONDITV@gmail.com. Until next time, my people, thank you all for your viewing support. We appreciate it. Oh, and your listening support, because you can listen to us on podcast stations.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Bendiciones.